Hi, and welcome back to Dollars in DynamoDB, where I help you save and optimize on costs with your DynamoDB database. In this video, we're going to look at tips to reduce costs by using batch writes instead of writing individual items to your DynamoDB database. So the way batch writes works is that you're providing one object or an array of items that you want to write to DynamoDB at the same time instead of sending them individually. And this will save you money by using only one round trip to the network as opposed to individually writing items to DynamoDB. So you're making round trips to the network, multiple round trips for each item. Well, with batch writes, you're making just a single item request. And you have a maximum of 25 items that you can batch write with DynamoDB. The reason why it helps you save money is because if you're using on-demand capacity, DynamoDB charges per API request. So with BatchWriteItem, the operation to write multiple items, you're using only one request. So compared to if you're writing 10 individual items, you're making 10 requests with the PutItem operation. So this saves on per request costs. Furthermore, you're also saving on latency, as the latency is reduced with BatchWriteItem operations instead of individual write items. Now let's take a look at the code of writing BatchWriteItems operation and see what it looks like in the Lambda console in AWS. And I've created a function that will batch write items to my DynamoDB table. So I've already created my DynamoDB database. That's a table I just called product. It's empty, and the partition key is just a product ID. I have no sort key. There's no items yet, and we're going to be writing items to this table. So going back to Lambda function, over here we have two libraries that I'm importing: the DynamoDB client, a BatchWriteItem command to batch write items, and Marshall, which will group the objects that we're writing into a DynamoDB syntax JSON. So the main function is going to declare the table name as product, and it's going to loop through the product that we send it to the request, and it's going to write a product item for each product in the array of products. Then we're going to put that package it into the params and send that to the BatchWriteItem command. Now over here, we're going to check if there's any unprocessed items. Sometimes BatchWriteItem doesn't process every item, and it gives you this the ability to check if there were items that were not processed, and you can then go in and do whatever you want with it. Maybe show it to the user or rewrite them, whatever you want. Over here, we're just putting out a console and returning a message that saying some items are not processed. Then finally, we're going to return a message if the BatchWriteItem operation succeeds. We're going to return the message with the products that were processed and written. Then we catch and etc. So let's deploy this function, and then we can test it using, I already have a test over here. Let's look at the test. So it's a product array, and we have product ID, which is the partition key, so that's required. And then we have some attributes, optional attributes like name, price, category, description, and we have just two items over here. Can add a third one. Okay, smartwatch 2. This one's going to go for 200, and we're going to save that, and we're going to invoke the function. And we receive the message saying that the products were successfully batch written. Now we can go in DynamoDB and check if the products were written. And yes, we have 3 different products with all of the attributes that we wrote. Okay, let's do a quick recap on what we learned. So instead of making multiple individual writes with separate, overhead, latency, cost, BatchWriteItem allows you to group up to 25 maximum items into a single request. And so this will reduce, API request charges because you're billed per request It'll reduce the network latency and any overhead that might come with it, especially when you're working with large, data. So this is, if you're using on-demand capacity, it's going to be a big, cost savings. And even with provision capacity, is just more efficient to handle, bulk writes. So if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more dollars on DynamoDB and more tips and strategies on how to save money with your DynamoDB tables. And I'll see you in the next video.